Hi, it's about the middle of October in Pennsylvania, and I'm gonna talk to you about black walnuts today, how to harvest them. The black walnut tree is native to Pennsylvania and much of the northeastern United States. Its leaves are pretty easy to identify, and the walnuts themselves are pretty easy to identify also. They're covered in a green, thick green hull, and you'll see these on the trees quite easily. Okay, now a tree like this, this just grew on its own. You don't have to do anything to it. It will grow, and you'll get tons of black walnuts on it every year. I never fertilize it. I never spray it. Nothing. It's a native tree and pretty much pest free. The main pest involved with it will be the squirrels, because the squirrels compete with me every year for these black walnuts, and they also plant them for me again. I have several black walnut trees growing in the garden and things like that when they dig up, and then I'll transplant them. Okay, but anyways, you don't pick these off the tree. You wait until they fall, and you know they'll fall in different batches. If it's windy or if it gets a little cooler, they'll fall, and they'll start to turn black, but you can pretty much process them at any time after they fall. So I'm just going to show you. It's really simple. I have some here on the ground. I've actually been doing a few of them there, and a lot of times I will do them on a piece of plywood, but my piece of plywood that I usually do them on it got buried behind the hay this summer, so I'm just going to show you a few here on the ground. But anyways, so make sure you have a pair of shoes that you're not too concerned if they get stained, and you know you want them to be clean, but these boots are fine here. You just get them on a hard surface. Plain grass is fine. Some people like to do them on the driveway, but wherever you want to do them, and you just basically you got to apply a little pressure. You mash them down a little bit, and there's the nut in there. Now you do not want to touch these with your bare hands, okay, because they stain, and you will not get that stain off for some time. But we got a little bit of leaf there. All right, that's not going to hurt anything. I don't want to touch this because I'm just going to drop it down again and get that leaf off of it. All right, so there it is right there. That's what they look like, and you can see they'll turn your hands yellow, or as they get a little darker, they'll turn your hands like a dark black. But that's all you got to do. Do a couple more of them here. Just step on them. Get that nut out of the hull. There's the hole there. You can see what it looks like. And you get the nut out. Doesn't matter if it has a little grass on it, but you don't want to touch this. Okay, and then you just take them and put them on a screen to dry them out. Go ahead and focus in on the porch over there. My son did a few the other day, and we'll just walk over here and I'll show you what they look like after a couple days. This is just an old side porch that we load up with firewood in the winter time, so it's going to be the wood porch soon. But these are a couple I just did a little bit ago. This is just an old screen. Anything will work like that. The screen's nice. Put them on there to dry out, and these are ones he did a couple days ago. You can see once they're dry you can pick them up, and then let them sit out for a couple days, dry out. Then take a 5-gallon bucket, get a food grade one. You can get them a lot of places, they're not expensive. Fill up the bottom third of it with nuts, and then fill it up with water and wash them around a good bit. Dump it out, maybe do it one more time, put them out on the screens to dry, and they're ready to go. And then they're pretty hard to crack. They make special crackers for them. You can hit them with a rock or a hammer if you don't want to buy one of those, but you're not going to crack these with a normal nut cracker. They're just too tough. But they taste really good. I mean, I really like them in chocolate chip cookies. Black walnut fudge is really good too, and they're good in brownies. So one tree will give you more than you'll ever need. And you know, some years we've harvested like 2 or 3 5-gallon buckets full of them, and other years we just harvest a few, depends on what we want to do. But they're pretty messy when you first work with them, and if you get that on your hands, boy does it stain. So I would use something, gloves or baggies or whatever. Well, that's about it. They're not too hard to grow. They grow on their own. You don't have to do anything with them, and you just basically wait till they fall on the ground, step on them, mash off the hull, and then make sure you don't get them on your hands. Put them on a screen. Once they dry out, wash them out, wash them a little bit, dry them again, and crack them, and they're good. I think that's about it. Talk to you later.